Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel. I'm a home educating mother of 4. 2 are currently home educated, 1 is in school and 1 is at college. Today I'll be doing a flick through of the Language Arts Level 2 curriculum. These 2 books here have been published by Pingles Publishing. And that cost me about £25. It's beautifully printed, lovely thick paper and thick covers and very sturdy binding. And then these spelling rules cards I recently purchased in a big order from The Good and the Beautiful, and I also purchased the Reading Booster C cards from The Good and the Beautiful to go with the curriculum. Today's video will be a flick through of these course materials, so if you're thinking of buying The Good and the Beautiful, you can see what is involved. So if we start with book 1, if you buy these directly from The Good and the Beautiful, they come as 1 book, and when you order them from Pingles they come as 2 books. So as you can see, it's very thick and sturdy, and then raise it up and they give you a list of all items you will need and any coordinated reading that you can buy from their bookshop. They also have a Letter Tiles app that goes with their curriculums, and they also have a home education app that goes with their curriculums, and often they'll say watch video 3 of Language Arts Level 1, for example. This tells you about the course, what they're going to cover, what you need, how to complete it, all the things you need just to go through the course. 2 pages of that. And then we have our table of contents. It's a very, very comprehensive curriculum. My daughter very much enjoys using it. And then we have our at a glance page, so telling you the phonics principles they're teaching, the grammar usage and punctuation. They also include art studies, geography, writing, spelling, everything you really need. It's, like I said before, it's very thorough. And there's more rules, spelling rules and credentials for everyone's work that they've used. And again. And then here we've got about the Reading Booster C cards, which is what I purchased separately with my main order. Some crazy gimbal work going on here, I do apologise. And then it tells you about the Reading Booster cards, what's on them. We've already completed A and B with earlier curriculums, so we're now on to level C. They teach very thorough fundamentals. We then have our scope and sequence for spelling, and then what sort of spellings they cover in different, so this is level K's and 1, then level 2. So it gives you all the information as a parent that you would ever need when you're teaching your child this curriculum. And then how fast to do the course. So pretty much every lesson will say work for 5 to 10 minutes on the Reading Booster C cards, and then move you through. And then you need to read this to make sure your child is ready for the course. This was actually the test from the end of Language Arts Level 1 to make sure that their reading is up to spec. This was very easy for my daughter. Her reading is very advanced thanks to The Good and the Beautiful. We also used Reading Eggs alongside that, and the Oxford Reading Tree Biff, Chip and Kipper books. And she's a very comprehensive reader. And then it's broken into units. Normally it's 3 units. So I think there's 40 lessons in each unit, and a summary at the end of each unit for them, like a little test to make sure that they've kept up and they understand before you move on to more complex information. And here we go for lesson 1 as an example. So reading words with U or Q. Sorry, I was reading through the camera. So it's very comprehensive, and it's also fun for the children. So you'll end up, I'm assuming, to cut this bit out, and then you make up the Q words up here by sticking them on. Sometimes you build like lift the flap books and flick books, and my daughter really enjoys it. She finds it very engaging, and she has ADHD, so she's quite difficult to want to engage in stuff that she's not hyper fixated on, but she really enjoys these curriculums. Homophones, we started on level 1. So they tend to introduce a subject like homophones or synonyms or antonyms, and then they'll move on, do something else, and then come back and review it, and then move on, do something else, and then come back and review them. And that way you find your child ends up with a very comprehensive understanding of the principles of English, which is obviously what you want. Lots of art appreciation, which I think is lovely. Lots of fun activities for them to be engaged in. Lots of spelling and some geography, and they do different things like plans. And if it is a Christian worldview, but if you are not Christian, this curriculum is still great because you can just omit the bits that mention God. And if you are Christian, it's not from a perspective of a particular type, or it's just, you know, a general God says this, God thinks this, this is God's plan kind of thing. So it's very open. So it's a very lovely, fun, thorough curriculum. My daughter will tend to blast through 2 lessons at a time. Unless she's having a particular fidgety day, then we just do 1. But generally she does 2. It's very colourful. It's very beautifully printed. Pingles have done a wonderful job. I have printed these myself before and bound them, or I will put them in ring binders sometimes when my binder machine broke. And what I found is actually with the free ones like Maths and English, ordering them through Pingles is excessively cheap, especially in comparison to a lot of other places. I've been quoted over £100 for a curriculum to be printed before, but it was only £25, including postage with Pingles, which I thought was fantastic. And it's beautifully thick paper. It's double-sided printed. The comb binder is very thick and sturdy, which is really helpful. Yeah, lots of art appreciation, which I think is really lovely. On the level before this, she would be looking at a painting and there'd be like a list of words underneath, and she'd be spotting what was and what wasn't in the list of words. So really getting her to look at the painting and appreciate what's on the page, which is very nice. They also tell you to do reading with the child pretty much every day. They'll give you a list of what you're doing, and then they'll have read to the child, and then obviously you'll then read this bit to them. They often have bits in purple for you to understand what's going on in the lesson. I don't know what's going on with my gimbal. It does not want to do what I'd like it to do. yes, it's, I just flick through because it's, you know, it's all beautiful. My older children have also used The Good and the Beautiful further on, and it's just as comprehensive further on as it is in the early years that my youngest daughter has used. We've been using them since she was 4. She started on their pre-K. And she's really enjoyed it all the way through. I like this, good messages and bad messages in a book. I think that's really, really lovely. Teaching to be kind. So that's book 1. And then we have book 2. Again, lovely thick binding. It's on the cover, that's on the front and on the back. And then, I'd like to know what's going on with my gimbal. There we go. And then cover again, but it's very clearly he's printed on here book 2, which you wouldn't normally have. I think that's really helpful, so you know which order. And this one starts at level 60, so there's a unit and a half in that one and a unit and a half in this one. And again, beautifully written, lots of lovely art, very thorough lessons, lots for your child to engage with. Sometimes my little girl does enjoy writing and wants to do it all, and other times we do partnership writing when she's very tired. We also have EDS, which is Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, so sometimes she finds writing rather exhausting, so on those times I write for her. Sometimes she just finds writing boring unless she's using her whiteboard. But yes, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Very deserving of its name. And there we have a course review for the end of the curriculum. And different things to make sure that they understand. And with my little girl, I tend to, when she finishes the curriculum, I tend to take a photo with her holding it. And she generally always has a massive smile on her face, where she's really enjoyed doing it and she's so proud that she's finished it. So these are the reading booster cards. These I bought from The Good and the Beautiful, and tells you how to use them, what they are, and then make sure that they can spell and read these words and know the sounds. And then you start on with the next set of digraphs and phonics. And then once they've taught you a concept, like here with KN, you then get the practice reading these sentences to make sure that you know it. She already knows a lot of these principles already from earlier curriculums from The Good and the Beautiful. These are very thick, very sturdy. They often have like little puzzles or games. Lots of The Good and the Beautiful's curriculum, especially with maths, is in games, it makes them sort of stand up and do things. Like when she was learning left and right, she had to stand up and pretend she was a clock and move her arms, so she could learn left, right and anti-clockwise and clockwise. And so yeah, it's very engaging. Again, all the sentences, making sure you can read the sight words, making sure you understand the sounds of the phonics, the digraphs, the trigraphs. And she really enjoys, once we've mastered them, ticking them off, knowing they're mastered, knowing she's can do all of these things. She really enjoys that. So this is a fun one. So yeah, she really enjoys that, bless her. And then the stickers that you put on in the end, the stickers that you put on where it says mastered. Once they can do the mastery of this, you let them pick a sticker and put it on. And there's 2 pages of those, which I think is just lovely. Even the artwork there is beautiful. And then the last thing I got to go with this was the spelling cards, which I may now have trouble getting into because I'm having to hold my gimbal I didn't want to sit on its tripod, which was helpful. I haven't unwrapped these yet, but I did have a good look at them on the website. So it's giving you your spelling rules, so it gives you the answers on the back. And they're very thick. Oh, turn that the right way. To make sure they understand all the principles. And you could probably use this from level 1 onwards. I only just saw them this time when I ordered, and I thought, oh, they were lovely. So she knows a lot of these principles, but I don't think it ever hurts just to keep practicing, so that you know that your child knows them inside out. So when they go to use them later on, they've got all the principles in their head. And that will help when they go to secondary school, or my daughter won't be going to secondary school. She'll be home educated all the way through to her GCSEs, but at least I know when we come to her GCSEs that all of these principles are firmly in her head. And that way she won't struggle when she does her GCSEs. And that's the end. So yes, another very beautiful, very thorough curriculum. I do recommend Pingles if you'd like to get them printed and bound, rather than paying for the curriculum and shipping it from America. Pingles does a beautiful job. The curriculum is beautifully done. And like I say, he does break it into 2, whereas when you buy it from The Good and the Beautiful, it comes as 1 book. And I think it's now, her level 3 curriculum that I've just ordered is flat bound, so there's no more comb. It's just like a flat bound book, and that is just as beautiful as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this flick through of the Language Arts level 2 from The Good and the Beautiful. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you like and subscribe. Thanks ever so much. Bye bye.